10 years from now, what we will see are the large programs which are starting now being close to the end, or maybe at the end. So like India, maybe like Brazil, like Russia, they will have these eID cards or smart cards related to ID or to travel documents. And the wealth of e-applications will be just incredible. I think the world in 10 years from now with these programs, these rollouts, will be totally different from what we know as electronic services as of today.
Over the next decade, it's going to prove interesting. We're going to have a situation where we're going to have a multi-application solution. And by that, I mean your identity document may end up being partially on your phone, perhaps partially on your television set, in fact, because you may want to authenticate yourself in different places in different ways. This is going to prove an interesting problem for the issuer of the document as well as the user. I would say in the next decade you will see yourself coming to the situation where you will come to a border and you may present, instead of your passport or your identity card, your new mobile phone, which will have your photograph, maybe even your biometrics on board. Now, some borders will be tougher than others. Some people will expect to see the full passport. But for some applications, simply your phone or whatever terminal you happen to be carrying with you will be enough to authenticate you at that point. After all, it could be an automatic border control.
Actually, let's look at the present at the moment. We have a lot of interesting security documents out, mainly looking at the ID cards. We are seeing a rollout, a massive rollout of ID cards all over Europe. And my expectancy is that we are going to see these ID documents for quite a while with us. The same is true for the passport. The passport booklet is a necessity in many countries, which means that the passports will stay with us for a long time ahead. But the real important thing is we have invested so much into these electronic secure documents, and this thing is not flying yet. We have to get the passports, the automatic border controls flying, and I think the next decade will really bring the benefit of the electronic secure document. That is what the industry and that is what the people are waiting for.
So there will be lots of changes. Bleeder documents, the need for maybe one single identification document, or turning the passport into an acceptable, universally acceptable identification document. So there will be a lot of changes.
Well, I think the next decade in security documents will not so much be actually determined by finding new security features, new technology groups, but really standardizing and harmonizing the issuance process. Because basically today we are already issuing very sophisticated security documents, not just in the EU or let's say first world or second world, but really also already in third world, or so to speak, third world countries. The real issue today and in the next 10 years, in my opinion, will most likely be about harmonizing the issuance process and really handing a valid document to the truthful and rightful bearer. Because the issuance today lacks this sophistication or lacks actually the application of already agreed rules and processes.